Season 4, Episode 3 of Rick and Morty dropped, so you know what that means? More Easter eggs! If you haven't seen any heist movies lately, strap in, because One Crew Over the Cuckoo's Morty is like all the oceans combined. That's like Oceans 44 if you add up Oceans 11, 12, 13, and 8. I'm Whitney Van Laningham, and here are all the Easter eggs and references you might have missed in Season 4, Episode 3 of Rick and Morty. Listen, I'm a little hesitant to tell you the first one because we don't need another fast food frenzy up in this fan base. But if you start feeling like you want the meats shortly after the episode started, that's because Rick was munching on an Arby's sandwich while Morty scaled the alien cliff. Okay, fine, Rick, it's already an alien planet, I'll just call it a cliff. Shortly after, it's revealed that Morty wanted to go on an epic adventure, so naturally they end up in an ancient temple rigged to pay homage to the Indiana Jones movies. It's got everything! Ceiling spikes, poison blow darts, a rolling boulder, and of course a giant vat of snakes. Aw man, Indy would hate that. Even the corpse in the tomb is a reference to the alien skeletons in Kingdom of the Crystal Skulls. An actual crystal skull pops up later on in the episode as well. Then there's HeistCon itself, which is clearly the Comic-Con of stealing stuff. It even has a Hall H, aka the bane of my existence at the San Diego Convention Center. People literally camp out for days just to see one panel at Hall H. It's impossible to get in there unless you're like, very cool with missing the rest of Comic-Con. While attempting to get their professional heist guy badges, the front desk alien asks Rick and Morty if they have a crew. Rick calls Morty a getaway driver with Asperger's, comparing him to the titular character of another heist movie, Baby Driver. Many fans of the movie have speculated that Baby has Asperger's. And speaking of heist movies, obviously the entire episode is a big ol' parody of the Oceans franchise. You know how Brad Pitt is like constantly eating snacks in all of his movies? Well, in Oceans 11, you can see Brad sucking on a lollipop just like Rick does throughout the episode. There's also a joke in there about a panel at HeistCon studying Catherine Alpha through Omega Jones. Get it? Like Catherine Zeta Jones in Oceans 12? Another frequent gag in this one is based on the infamous Predator handshake. Every time any of the heist crew says, "Sanchez, you son of a bitch," that's a callback to Carl Weathers and Arnold Schwarzenegger's epic muscle-infused handshake. Once successfully inside HeistCon, Rick and Morty make their way to the stage to confront Miles Knightley about heisting their original quest. When security tries to stop them, Rick orders his lab coat to rip off Doctor Strange. Any good Marvel fan knows that this is referencing the Cloak of Levitation. Knightley himself happens to be wearing one of Freddie Mercury's most iconic outfits, which is perfectly fitting because this episode aired on the 28th anniversary of the Queen frontman's death. Also, did you catch Knightley's lame-ass posters in the hallway? Yeah, The Art of the Heist is a ripoff of Donald Trump's 1987 New York Times bestseller, The Art of the Deal. Knightley's clearly a douche canoe. Speaking of presidents, let's talk about a better one. Abe Lincoln's floating head can be seen in a giant cylinder. Please note that this is the real Lincoln, not the one infused with Hitler. There's a couple of Easter eggs in Rick's heist crew, so let's go over them. First, we have Hephaestus, who Rick finds blacksmithing inside of a volcano. In Greek mythology, Hephaestus was the god of fire, metalworking, and stonemasonry, which is exactly what he's working on when Rick and Morty roll up. He's known to be horribly disfigured, which is why he looks like a melted candy bar. Obviously, the best heist member cameo is Elon Tusk, who is actually voiced by Elon Musk. And then there's the return of Mr. Poopy Butthole! Ooh-wee! When Knightley instructs his heist team to steal a crystal skull, you'll notice some paintings in the background. It looks like we have The Milkmaid by Johannes Vermeer, American Gothic by Grant Wood, and what looks like an abstract portrait of a trunk person. When it's revealed that Heistatron has jacked Earth, we also get to see a bunch of other cool planets in the multiverse. I'm pretty sure that the one with a giant butt sticking out of its atmosphere is Hamster and Butt World, and Fran Dreshlon has to be the best planet name in the galaxy. There's also what appears to be an Illuminati planet, plus a bunch of other silly ones with names like Zipple, Timbus, Bigum, Crumpy, and Big Pluto. When Rick finally overloads Heistatron's circuits, the Heistatron utters this famous line from the movie War Games.
Strange game. The only winning move is not to play.
Oh, and obviously, the Netflix building is promoting their best original series, Weirder Stuff. Who else kinda wants to see how Rick handles the Upside Down? Over at Netflix, Morty is pitching his screenplay idea for a heist movie. If you zoom in on the script he's working on at the bar, you'll see that it's an action crime movie about Hector, Arnaldo, and Rodriguez, who use a cake shaped like Hector's dead body as a Trojan horse to steal a crystal orb. Finally, there's the episode title itself. One Crew Over the Cuckoo's Morty is a play on One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, starring Jack Nicholson. Cuckoo's Nest is definitely not a heist movie, and there's a lot more lobotomies going on there, so I'm not really sure how it relates to the episode. If you have any other theories other than that it was just a good title, hit me up in the comments below. Did I miss any other Easter eggs or references in Season 4, Episode 3? Let's talk about it! Like and subscribe to Nerdwire, and for the love of all that is Morty, keep the comments friendly. Your boos mean nothing to me. I've seen what makes you cheer.